Hey y'all, thanks for coming to slurp the tea with me. Are you ready? Today's tea, intentions versus expectations. Here we go. The intentions of today's video are to, 1, discuss intentions in relation to goals and goal setting. Number 2, to discuss expectations in relation to end outcomes. Number 3, to discuss intention versus expectation, how to set intention, how to avoid expectation, and where each will really get you. An intention is a thought construct, first and foremost. It's a thought construct that you self-design when you are trying to decide why and how you'd like to pursue a certain goal. Let me boil that down for you. Intentions are guiding principles that lead you to your goals. That's simple. But the important thing about intentions, though, is that you set them proactively. By forming intentions before you start to go for something you want, you have something to guide you along the process, because it's not about the end outcome. Believe it or not, it's about the process. I know it sucks. I had to learn that so many times. I'm still learning it. Even with this video, meta. When I set intentions towards a goal, I like to write them down. Why do I want to X? How do I want to X? What effect do I want X to have on myself or others? This just in, it doesn't matter how big or small the goal is. All that matters is that you want it, right? Now, an intention can be good or bad. Good and bad are really relative if you think about it. Energy is energy. But it's important to know that even if you think you have good intention, you may not always have the best intention behind your intention. Looking at you, TERFs. Looking at you, cops. Who said that? Another thing. Intentions and how likely they are to succeed are actually contingent on the state of justice or injustice within the realm they are taking place. So, for example, somebody who comes from a marginalized community may have the best intentions to put out their best into the world. But because we live in an unjust society, their intentions may not be able to go as far, which is stupid. The goal is to value everyone's intentions, right? That is how we are going to achieve a world in which I want to live. Hopefully you want to live there with me. To withhold expectation from others in particular is to work toward your goal with the purest of intention. Hey kids, do you want to know the root of all evil? Expectations. Let's take a look at Justin TimberFake, a fool forming an expectation. I want to send one of these bad boys in the mail to Jessica Biel. Ooh, Hopefully, it'll make her smile. You know what? If I send her PB&J, I bet she'd marry me. Well, that's an expectation. Intentions that are not coming from an authentic place or that are not inclusive of others can lead you to a web of expectations that you just never expected. When you form expectations before or while you are pursuing a venture, your mind's eye is dreaming up a hypothetical construct. And that hypothetical construct is called an end outcome. An end outcome is what you think you will feel, the physical state of arousal you think that you will acquire when you reach that expected outcome. Like, oh, I want to run a mile in 4 minutes. Well, that's just not going to happen. It would make me feel really happy, but I just don't like to run. The only thing I'm running after in 2020 is social justice. Unfortunately, when you have an end outcome programmed in your brain, you start to behave as if you're already halfway to the finish line. When in reality, you're just sashaying around in your own mind. And why not? That thing will make all of our dreams come true. But alas, an obstacle. When an obstacle inevitably gets in the way of your end outcome, the punch to the left side brain of your ego is usually felt as disappointment. But why am I disappointed? It's important to point out that the severity of your disappointment when you realize that an expected outcome may not happen the way that you want it to is a function of the grandeur of that expected outcome.
As Justine approaches the limit of grandiose expectations, he's closer to failure and more unhappiness than ever before.
But forget what I'm saying. Let's take a look at some tea. Let's take a look at some credible sources. According to Dr. Charles F. Manski, a professor at Northwestern University and an econometrician, the following is true about economics. When decision makers act with partial information, economists typically assume that persons form probabilistic expectations for unknown quantities and maximize expected utility. Although this theory is in reference to consumerism, I would argue that it's relevant to our everyday lives. Consumerism paralleling our personal lives. What a thought. According to the research of Dr. Gabrielle Oettingen of NYU's Motivation Lab, the more an individual colors their future with positivity, the less likely they are to actually reach the desired outcome. But why? Here's the tea. I caught it. We are not always critically thinking about the obstacles that may appear on our path. In one study, results indicated that the more graduate students positively fantasized about finding success as they transitioned into the job world, the less job applications they had put in 2 years later, and also the less they earned. But before you tumble back into your pit of despair, just wait. The healthiest replacement for forming expectations is to set intentions proactively. And you want to feel good when you get there, so keep those intentions realistic. Think about obstacles that may come up in your path. Now, you guys have worked so hard with me and you're just so beautiful that I'm going to give you an extra special industry secret. Make an intention to accept the things that you cannot change on the path to your goal. If you include an intention that has to do with flexibility, when you run into an obstacle that causes you to feel disappointment, you can fall back on that flexibility. The true power of intentions are the framework that they provide during moments of disappointment. When I feel disappointed, here's what I do. First, I acknowledge the physical state of emotion that I am in. The next thing I do is ask my most authentic self, what is the function of this emotion I'm feeling? Why am I feeling this way? If I don't know it right then, I say, it's okay. I take a break, or I go for a walk. But once I do understand the function of that emotion, then I say, hey, what intention can I make to overcome that? Or I even can look back at my intentions and say, are there any intentions that I already have that'll give me the tea? Usually I can find at least one intention that will help me overcome that disappointment to the extent that I can overcome the obstacle. All right, so this has been SLURP with Justine TimberFake and Ephemeral. If you want to watch more of our stuff, please like and subscribe. You can help us out on Patreon. We'd love that. Also, if you'd like a personal tarot reading, reach out over the DM. You slide right in there. I'll help you out. Not in that way, but I'll help you out. Goodbye. Oh. Just gotta clip it, that's it.
Just a little clip. All you gotta do is clip it. Now clip it! Clip it!
Clip it good.
Did you find yourself a partner that you like? Clip it!
Friends for life. Friendship for your life.
Now, Reggie! Bring back my friends! Bring back my friends. Look where